Welcome to Blind Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson. Excited to bring to you this app, OKO, from the Eyes team from Belgium. Yes, they were on before, and here it is now in the United States. It's been a year and a half, and Willem Van de Mierop is here. He's one of the three founders of Eyes, and excited to talk about OKO, how it detects traffic signal lights, so you can walk, don't walk, countdown timer, that type of thing. You will be able to get that information, be able to check out intersections, and augment your experience while at a crossing. Works instantaneous. Yeah, nice stuff. So be sure to check out the links, download the app, check it out. That's OKO, and check out their website, ayes.ai on the web. So without further ado, here's Willem Van de Mierop. Hope you enjoy. Welcome to Blind Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson. Today in the studio, I'm excited to have, returning to the studio, I should say, is Willem Van de Mierop. Willem, welcome back to Blind Abilities.
Hi, Jeff. Thanks. Good to be back.
So glad you made it back. It was fun to talk to your team with Vincent and Mikhail, about a year and a half ago, and you were just kicking off Eyes. Now it's called OKO, and I like how you write that up on the app itself, OKO. AI Copilot for the Blind. I downloaded the app and it was fun kicking it around a little bit. And I was really excited to see some of these features that are in here that I didn't even think about. And now it's available to everyone in the App Store. OKO. William, why don't you tell us a little bit about OKO?
Yeah, sure. The application is called OKO because it's very easy for Siri to listen to that sound, to recognize that name in all kinds of languages. So for example, when you say, hey Siri, open OKO, it immediately starts opening up the application, and then the application starts working. No actions required. You can just hold the phone up at chest level. And the moment we see a pedestrian head, we bring back the state of the don't walk, the walk, or the countdown signal to the user. We do that with audio, haptic, and visual feedback for some people that have some rest features. And because it runs locally on the phone, no Wi-Fi, no cellular connection required, it reacts very instantly.
You're using the back camera then?
Exactly, to recognize or look for traffic lights for pedestrians. And we're bringing that back in a very fast and timely manner, which creates an extra sense of orientation. So you mentioned like it could be used as some kind of beacon, because actually if you're holding it up at chest level and you're doing a small rotating of about 10 to 15 degrees, the moment that a traffic light is detected is instant. So you know, okay, this is actually also the direction that I want to go in because that's where the traffic light is located. You then see when you're crossing the street, the moment you start veering off into traffic, for example, is the moment that the application becomes silent because we're no longer seeing that pedestrian head. Mm-hmm. You stop, you turn a bit, and that's when we start giving back feedback because we know that we're seeing the traffic light again. And that way, you know, okay, that's the direction I want to go back in.
And that's instantaneous.
Yeah, it's really fast because it just runs locally on the phone. So that means you can just run it in airplane mode if you like.
William, if I have my OKO app up and running as I approach an intersection, as soon as a pedestrian signal is identified, I will know that because I will start getting instantaneous feedback, whether it be the walk thumping, the don't walk, or the countdown. Haptic and audio. That's awesome.
Exactly right. Yeah. And you'll feel that vibrations, and that way you intuitively know, okay, now we know that it's safe to cross or not.
Yeah, when I opened up the app, I went in and it said, do I want to learn more? So I went to learn more, and you have the 3 sounds right down there so you can listen to the sounds. And like you said, these are sounds that we are somewhat familiar with. I also noticed that you said, get to the intersection, you're not just going to use this only. You're going to use all your skills, everything that this is enhances your knowledge to gain what you can from the situation. You said to go through the cycle once, listen to it, see what happens and see how it works.
Yeah, exactly right. We're always trying to be an extra tool on your belt. We're not a replacement, for example, for a white cane or a guide dog. We're just trying to bring back more information, as you say. The reason that we implemented the countdown feature is, for example, when you come to an intersection and we say that it's already countdown, you know that you definitely need to wait a cycle until it's fully the walk signal again so that you have sufficient time. Of course, in orientation and mobility training, you're always taught that if you come at an intersection and it's actually already the walk signal, you should always wait a cycle as well. But now we just bring more information. For example, that countdown, you know that it's definitely not going to be green for a very long time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you go to training and get all your mobility skills, this can augment the situation to verify that what you're thinking is actually happening.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's why we're in the US right now to tell a lot of orientation and mobility specialists about the app, and they're all loving the product. People can go out and test it with their orientation and mobility specialist first, get used to how the application works, and then they can try it out on their own.
And I saw that in the app, which is very accessible, there's a spot where you can actually give feedback back to the team.
Yeah, so we co-created the app with tons and tons of blind people because we really believe that to create an accessible application, you need to work with the community. And so we like to be part of the community. That's why I'm here in the US. That's why there's so many buttons inside the app to give us feedback. We want to create the barrier to make it as low as possible for people to give feedback and to help us improve the application. You mentioned it's very accessible. That's because we work so close with the community to help make every voice over button accessible. But also, for example, someone requested that it worked with screen curtain on, and now it does as well. So you can use the application with screen curtain on if you like.
Oh, that's wow. And for people who are listening to this who may not be in the United States, there's also a spot where they can sign up to test in their country as well.
Yeah, that's true. For example, through that button, we are now with 1,000 people in Japan who are testing the app. We're also testing in Spain, but we're currently only live in the US and Belgium at the moment. We're testing in all of these other countries, but we're expanding quite rapidly. As you know, Jeff, last time we spoke, we weren't in the US yet, and now we're here already. We want to have as much impact on as many lives as fast as possible.
And you told me a number earlier. Why don't you say that again? Was it 350,000?
Yeah, that's really amazing. Today, we have helped cross already 350,000 streets, while the application is only live for 1 year. So it's really amazing.
Wow. Yeah, this went live and I went to your website, which is ayes.ai, and I just clicked on the link and boom, it was downloaded in no time. And I like how you have that in the beginning, the menu, and then you allow your camera, basically, you're all set up for it. But on your website, you actually had tram and bus identification. I didn't see that in the menu yet.
No, that's right. That's why the menu is actually already there. In Belgium, we have this functionality. Imagine this scenario. You're, for example, at a bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
You have an application that's telling you based on GPS in X amount of minutes, your bus will arrive.
Oh.
But maybe multiple buses arrive and it's really not real time. So you, for example, a bus stops and you don't know, is this actually the bus that I'm getting on or not?
Right.
And so that's why we have a functionality now where very similarly, you have the phone at chest level. The back camera is pointing towards, for example, where buses will be arriving. The moment that we see a bus, we start vibrating to let you know a bus is actually in sight. You're pointing towards the right direction. And then we read out the front destination that it has. So for example, bus 10 towards downtown, let's say Manhattan, then you know, okay, this is actually the bus or tram that I'm getting on. And people in Belgium are very enthusiastic about that product as well. I have one user, he actually told me, I use it even when my sighted wife is present, because that way I don't constantly have to ask her, is this the bus that we're getting on? Is this the bus that we're getting on? It's just that easy to use.
I like what you're doing here. You're not trying to change the buses. You're not trying to change the pedestrian signals. You're using everything that's given to us, and you're doing it with an app that is just gathering the information that is already there, making cities accessible.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're not reliant on any adaptations for physical infrastructure. As we know in this community, if we rely on changes in physical infrastructure, it can take a long time. Sometimes things get broken. It's not maintained very well. So we're just trying to use artificial intelligence. For example, the whole hype about ChatGPT and all this stuff, that's also AI. So we're using AI to translate visual information into audio and haptic feedback. That's really the goal.
Now you're on your American tour here, city to city out east, and you'll be at CSUN this year.
That's right. I'm flying over to LA on Saturday now, where I'll be at CSUN. I'm actually also meeting some people from Apple, which will be very interesting. And just indeed getting the word out, spreading the fact that the application is available to download and everyone can go and test it out.
Oh, that's neat. Pretty big deal talking to that fruit company, isn't it?
Yeah.
OKO App. It's only available on iOS right now in the App Store, right?
Yeah, that's right. As I mentioned, the software runs locally on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that we need, of course, certain power of the phone, also a good battery and also a good camera. We know from the community that most blind and visually impaired people own an iPhone. So that's why as a young company, the focus is on iPhones at the moment. That doesn't mean that we're not coming to Android at a later stage, but it's just difficult because there's so many different phones. And we need to, of course, be able to give certain reliability that the software will perform as powerful as it does on iPhones. And that's why currently it's only on iPhones, but it will come to Android in the future.
I like the fact that since you're using the camera and you're using the power of the phone, that I set it down for a little bit and just waited. And it actually gave me the option to shut off the camera to save battery.
Yeah, some people use like the camera feedback as a way of knowing where the camera is pointing, but some people don't really need that. And then you can just turn off the camera feedback and save battery power. But it will still recognize and use that AI to recognize a pedestrian head and the walk and don't walk signal, even though the camera visual is turned off. So that's a very neat feature, actually.
So it's actually detecting through the lens, but not giving you the video back.
Exactly right. Yeah. So it's still detecting, it's still working, but it's just not giving you that feedback, like just displaying it on the screen. It takes a bit of battery power. And so we're shutting that off. We're saying, hey, you can conserve battery if you like. And we're still actually detecting and working on giving back that feedback to you, but just not through the visual of the phone.
Which was going to burn the battery. Yeah.
A bit more, yeah. It's actually on the newer phones, the battery impact is similar to, for example, using a GPS application. You'll find that on older phones, the battery impact is a bit higher compared to, for example, a GPS app, because indeed we're running locally. But you'll find that on the newer phones, it's not a high impact.
That's good. I like the fact that you say this is a good tool for people to learn, especially O&M, and that's who you've been visiting with, talking about the possibilities that this can augment their travels and give you feedback, because that's one of the hardest things for people to do is actually get out and cross the street. And I'm really glad that your team at Eyes is doing this and actually working with the blind to develop this for the blind.
Exactly right. The application is called OKO. You can just download it on the App Store, test it out. And if there's any feedback, as mentioned, we love to work with the community. So just give us an email. There's a big contact us button inside the settings page, which goes to feedback at Eyes, but it really just goes to me. If there's any remarks, you can just shoot me an email.
Well, I'm excited to do this. I want to go up to the corner here, a couple blocks away, and put it through its rigors a little bit and actually test it out, listen to the whole cycle. And another thing that is suggested right in the app is don't cover your ears, still be able to maintain hearing, whether you're using one earplug. Yeah. I like the safety stuff you build into it right when you open the app and you agree and to the terms. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Willem, good luck with the rest of your tour, bringing in the news and spreading this. That we call that like Johnny Appleseeds walked across America, spreading apple seeds all over the place. That's what you're doing, is bringing awareness to OKO, AI Copilot for the Blind. Available now to download in the App Store. And thank you to your entire team for doing what you do for the blindness community. And Willem Van de Mierop, you have safe travels and enjoy your time at CSUN, bringing awareness to OKO.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Jeff.
Such a great time talking to Willem. Be sure to check out Eyes, that's AYES.AI on the web. Download the app, send them some feedback. It's all right there. That's OKO, AI Copilot for the Blind. From all of us here at Blind Abilities, thanks for listening, and until next time, bye-bye.
When we share
what we see through
each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap
between the limited expectations and the realities of blind abilities.
And the realities of blind abilities.